A woman named Yom Mira is quietly having a meal with her coworkers. While everyone else chats about office clubs, she just sits there and listens, unsure of what to say. One of her coworkers, Hyang Gi, invites her to go bowling that night. But Mira hesitates since she lives far away from the office and knows it will be difficult for her to join. At the same time, her older sister, Yom Hana, is having dinner with her own friends. The two sisters text each other, making plans to go home together later that night since they both expect to finish late. As the evening goes on, Mira decides to leave her coworkers early. She heads over to the restaurant where Hana is, then sits beside her and listens as Hana vents about a man she recently met. Hana is clearly frustrated after finding out that he is a single father. She believes that if they were to get married, his child would always come first, and that would only complicate her life. Her friends quickly try to stop her because right next to them sits Tae-hun, the very man she is talking about, quietly dining with his daughter. Not long after, Tae-hun is joined by his sister Gyeong-seon, who brings a birthday gift for his child. Feeling awkward, Hana's friends excuse themselves and leave. Hana and Mira stand up to go as well, but before leaving, Mira politely greets Tae-hun. She realizes that he actually works at the same company as her, just in a different team. Elsewhere, their brother Yom Chang-hee is in the middle of an argument with his girlfriend. He is upset after being suddenly dumped and begins to suspect that she may have cheated on him. Later that night, the three siblings head home together in a taxi, each of them lost in their own thoughts and personal struggles. So this is my liberation notes. The next day, everyone returns to their routines. Mira helps her mother prepare food and drinks to bring to the fields. Hana, still thinking about what happened the night before, decides to go to a salon. Meanwhile, the rest of the family is busy working alongside their parents in the fields. After some time, they take a break and sit down to eat. Among them is a man named Mr. Gu who sits quietly staring off into the distance. During this moment, Chang-hee asks his father for permission to buy a car, arguing that it would be cheaper than relying on public transportation. But his father immediately gets angry, reminding him that he once bought a car on credit and failed to keep up with the payments. That night, Mira's mother asks her to deliver a message to Mr. Gu, reminding him to come to work at 9 the next morning. Mira heads over, bringing him a bowl of food along the way. After that, she and Chang-hee stop by a cafe owned by their friend, Du Hwan. It turns out that Du Hwan and Chang-hee share a similar story. Both of them have been heartbroken after being left by women. The three of them end up opening up about their lives in Sanpo, talking about how stuck and out of place they feel. For Chang-hee and Du Hwan, there is always this lingering sense that life would have been different if they had been born in Seoul. The next morning, as Mira heads to work, she is surprised to see Mr. Gu already there, even though it is only 7 in the morning. Confused, she simply walks past him and continues on her way. At the office, Mira speaks with her supervisor about the requirement to join a company club. Her supervisor explains that building closer relationships with coworkers could help improve her overall work performance. Outside the office, Tae-hun is waiting with his colleague Song-min for the same consultation. After Mira leaves, Tae-hun goes in and firmly refuses to join any club, choosing instead to focus on taking care of his daughter. Later, Mira hands a document to Junho. After finishing, she checks her phone and reads a message from her team chat about an upcoming outing. She replies that she cannot join because of the long distance to her home. Not long after, Junho points out mistakes in her document. As Mira reviews it, she sees his handwritten notes telling her to correct everything, and she quietly breaks down in tears. The following day, Mira accidentally overhears her teammates talking about her. They say she is pretty but lacks charm. Hearing that makes something inside her sink. She starts to believe that no matter where she goes, people will never truly like her. For a moment, she even begins to question who she really is. Meanwhile, Chang-hee is invited to eat with the owner of the shop where he works. The owner casually mentions that he plans to close the shop soon, and even jokes about inviting Chang-hee to his future wedding. Around the same time, Mira receives a notice from the bank. Her credit card bill is due in just a few days. The news leaves her completely shaken, especially when she realizes that Hana has taken out a large loan without her knowledge. Desperate for answers, Mira tries to contact her sister, but no matter how many times she calls, she gets no response. That night, Hana returns home as if nothing happened, showing no sign of guilt. Not long after, a man named Suk Jung-hoon arrives, bringing drinks with him. Since the family is preparing for a small camping gathering at Mira's house, everyone ends up sitting together. One by one, they start talking about their problems and frustrations, but Mira remains quiet, simply listening to everything around her. The next day, Mira goes to see Mr. Gu at his place. She asks for his help regarding a bank letter that will be delivered by mail. She specifically asks him to keep it hidden from her family. When the mailman arrives, Mr. Gu quickly rushes over to intercept it. The mailman looks confused after noticing there are two identical letters addressed to Mira. Mr. Gu takes one of them and reads it. It turns out to be a warning notice from the bank. Without saying much, he stores it away safely and leaves. Later, at a convenience store, Mr. Gu spots Mira walking by. He quietly follows her from behind before letting her know that the letter has arrived. At that moment, Mira's mother happens to see them together and becomes curious, since Mr. Gu is acting differently than usual. To avoid suspicion, Mira casually explains that she only asked him to return a bowl she had given him earlier. Meanwhile, Hana is at the office, where a coworker suggests that she should consider moving to a new place. Around the same time, Mira brings food to Mr. Gu again. She retrieves the letter from him and reads it carefully. After finishing, she folds it and decides to leave it there, feeling that it would be safer than keeping it at home. It is then revealed that the person responsible for the loan is not Hana, but a man from Mira's past. The following day at work, the employees gather for a group meal, with seating already arranged. Mira ends up sitting at the same table as Tae-hun and Sung-min, all of them being people who chose not to join any company clubs. After the meal, Mira finds herself in the same elevator as Tae-hun, where she apologizes on behalf of Hana for what happened a few days earlier. Elsewhere in the office, Hana sits quietly as her coworkers chat with Miss Lee about lottery tickets they received from Park Jin-yu. She begins to feel left out after realizing she is the only one who did not receive one. Later, she opens up to a coworker about how she feels. Deep down, she admits that what she really wants is someone in her life, a man who would listen to her, someone she can lean on when things get difficult. At one point, Mira is on the phone and receives troubling news. She is told that Chan Hyok, the man who owes money, has fled to Thailand after piling up debts with multiple people. He cannot be contacted anymore. In Thailand, he is even planning to meet his ex, Shin Young. Hearing all of this, Mira is left speechless. She feels completely lost, knowing she is now the one responsible for paying off someone else's debt. On her way home, Mira notices her parents rushing toward Mr. Gu's house. She follows them and finds him with a nosebleed. Her father quickly takes him to the hospital. Later that evening, during dinner, Mira's mother talks about what happened. She assumes that Mr. Gu might have fallen while drunk and hit his nose. She also mentions how little they actually know about him, since he never gives clear answers about his past whenever someone asks. The next day at work, Mira submits another document to Junho, but once again, it is full of mistakes. Not long after, Hyung-gi tells her that she has found a club that might suit her, especially since Mira prefers being alone. Hearing that, something inside Mira breaks. She starts crying, admitting that she feels exhausted with her life. No matter how hard she tries, nothing seems to change, and it feels like no one will ever truly like her. That night, when she returns home, Mira approaches Mr. Gu, who is drunk again. She wonders why he drinks every single day. From his perspective, there is nothing else left for him to do. In that moment, Mira makes an unusual request. She tells him that if he wants to do something other than drink, he could try worshipping her. She feels empty inside, and she believes that being worshipped, even just once, might make her feel whole. With winter approaching, she just wants to feel something meaningful in her life, even if it is only for a moment. Mr. Gu tells her to go home and makes it clear that he has no intention of agreeing to her request. To him, it feels strange. Mira is asking to be worshipped by someone whose real name and past she does not even know. He is just a stranger who suddenly appeared in the village. Even so, her words stay with him, and he eventually becomes curious enough to look up the meaning of what she said. Back at the office, Mira's co-workers notice that she has not gone home yet, even though she usually leaves right on time. She admits that she does not feel like going home, so one of them invites her out to a cafe. But even there, Mira cannot enjoy being around others. Her mind drifts back to what Mr. Gu told her about her debt, urging her to deal with it properly. She also remembers his warning about men, that dishonest men can easily recognize women who will stay silent even when the truth is twisted. Those words linger with her, quietly shaping the way she begins to see things. The next day, Mira keeps trying to reach Shin Young, but there's still no response. After handing over another document to Junho, she returns to her desk and checks her phone. The message she reads is filled with insults from the man who owes her money. Frustration builds up, and without realizing it, she lets out harsh words under her breath. Unfortunately, Junho hears it and feels offended. He approaches her, questioning what she meant. Mira quickly stands and explains that her words were not directed at him, but at the message she had just read. Elsewhere, Hana happens to run into Jin Yu at a department store. She gathers the courage to ask why she is the only employee who never received any lottery tickets, while everyone else did. Jin Yu is surprised and realizes he had unintentionally overlooked her. To make up for it, he apologizes and invites her to a cafe. During their time there, Hana opens up about her struggles with relationships. She admits that she always feels abandoned by men, no matter how much effort she puts into presenting herself well. From Jin Yu's perspective, it is not that men do not like her, but rather that she has not yet found someone who truly suits her. He believes she would match better with someone strong and focused in life. Later during lunch hour, Mira, Tae-hun, and Sang-min are called in again by their supervisor to discuss their participation in company clubs. While waiting, the three of them quietly think of ways to avoid being called back again. That is when Mira comes up with an idea. She suggests creating their own club, one that would only include the three of them. Tae-hun and Sang-min agree, and just like that, the Liberation Club is formed. Back at home, Ahana confronts Chang-hee. She questions why she always feels like the one being abandoned, when in reality, it is often Chang-hee who pushes people away with his selfish behavior. From her point of view, any woman would eventually want to leave someone like him. Annoyed by her words, Chang-hee storms off and heads to Mr. Gu's place. He tries to invite him out for drinks, hoping they could become friends, but Mr. Gu remains silent, leaving Chang-hee with no choice but to walk away. The following morning, Mira is on her way to work when she crosses paths with Mr. Gu. This time, she stops, turns around, and makes a small but meaningful request. From now on, she wants them to greet each other whenever they meet. Later, after a meal, Mira's mother mentions to Mr. Gu that her husband is impressed with his work. She says it is the first time he has ever praised someone else, since he usually only praises Mira. She also shares how, ever since she was young, Mira has always helped her father, both in the fields and in the warehouse. Not long after, Hana and Chang-hee walk into the house, still arguing. In the middle of it, Hana throws a slipper at Chang-hee, but he ducks, and it ends up hitting Mira instead. Mira says nothing. She simply picks up the slipper and tosses it back outside, returning to her quiet silence. That night, Chang-hee goes to see Mr. Gu, hoping to talk with him. During their conversation, he shares his thoughts about Mira. He explains that she rarely gets angry, but when she does, it can be quite intense. Because of that, he warns Mr. Gu to be careful around her. At the same time, things at the office take an awkward turn. One of Mira's co-workers gathers others and shows them the newly created Liberation Club on a computer screen. Instead of taking it seriously, everyone laughs at it. They start asking Mira about the purpose of the club, but she finds herself at a loss for words. She has no clear plan yet. All she can say is that she wants to break free from something invisible, something that has been quietly suffocating her life. Meanwhile, back in the village, Mira's father faces a difficult situation. A customer complains that the price of a cabinet is too high and demands that it be dismantled. With no choice, her father leaves with Mr. Gu. But after dropping him off at home, Mr. Gu suddenly returns to the customer's place on his own. What exactly he does there remains unclear, but in the end, the customer agrees to pay. Mr. Gu then takes the money and hands it directly to Mira's mother. During dinner, she becomes curious about how he managed to collect the payment so quickly, but her husband remains silent. Later that night, while out buying drinks, Mr. Gu is briefly pulled back into memories of his past. The next day, Jin Yu brings a large number of lottery tickets for Hana as a way to apologize. At first, she refuses, feeling that it is too much, but he insists, and eventually she accepts them. Around the same time, a sudden storm rolls in, with heavy rain and thunder that unsettles the office workers. Surprisingly, Mira, Tae-hun, and Sang-min remain calm. For Mira, the storm even feels comforting. Not long after, the three of them head to a cafe for the first official meeting of their Liberation Club. They choose to sit side by side rather than facing each other, believing it makes them feel more at ease. There, they begin to talk openly, mostly about what freedom means to each of them. Later, while watching the rain, Mira notices Mr. Gu standing outside, drinking alone as the storm grows heavier. Suddenly, lightning strikes and the power goes out. Worried about him, Mira runs over and tries to get him inside, but he does not respond at first. Without hesitation, she grabs his hand and pulls him into the house. The next day, while working in the fields, Mira and the others are busy harvesting vegetables. During a short break, a strong gust of wind suddenly blows Mira's hat far across the road. Chang-hee casually tells her to go get it herself, but before she can move, Mr. Gu steps forward and offers to help. Without hesitation, he runs across at full speed and leaps to grab the hat. Then, just as quickly, he jumps back. The way he moves feels almost effortless, and in that moment, it it seems like something inside him has started to change, as if he is slowly opening his heart to Mira. After retrieving the hat, he hands it to Chang-hee and quietly returns to work. Impressed, Chang-hee cannot hide his curiosity. He follows Mr. Gu and starts talking about the jump, convinced that only a trained athlete could do something like that. He even begins to wonder if Mr. Gu might have once been a national jumper. But as he keeps pressing for answers, Mr. Gu suddenly loses his patience and shuts him down, making it clear that he wants to be left alone. That evening, while Mira is eating, her father realizes that they have run out of mosquito repellent. Mira decides to go out and buy some. On her way, her thoughts keep circling back to Mr. Gu. His behavior confuses her. At times he is kind and attentive, but at other moments he becomes distant and cold. Back at home, Mira's mother overhears Chang-hee talking with his friend and casually tells them that they should just get married. Not long after, as Mira returns from the convenience store, she runs into Mr. Gu outside his house. She offers him a drink and he accepts it. Before they part ways, he brings up something unexpected, wondering if the two of them will become different people by the time spring arrives. Mira believes they will. From her point of view, people change when they start doing things they have never done before. For her, that change comes through the act of worshiping each other. Hearing that, Mr. Gu admits that he has already started, ever since he decided to run and pick up her hat that day. The following day, after buying another drink, Mr. Gu crosses paths with Mira near the station. When she approaches him, he seems unsure of how to react. Instead of staying, he quickly walks away, avoiding her. Mira had been trying to get closer to him, hoping to start a conversation, but she is left disappointed as he leaves in a hurry. In truth, he avoids her because he does not know how to act, especially knowing that he might have to face her family directly. Later that night, Mr. Gu stands outside Mira's house, holding an ice cream he bought earlier. He wants to give it to her, but in the end, he cannot gather the courage. Instead, he quietly turns back, returns home, and puts the ice cream away in his fridge. The next day, Mr. Gu receives his paycheck and thanks Mira's father. For a moment, he stands quietly in front of the warehouse, looking out at the scenery. Then, gathering his courage, he goes back inside and asks Mira's father for her phone number. Later that day, as Mira walks home from work, she stops when she receives a message from him, letting her know that he got paid. On the way home, Mr. Gu wonders why Mira has never fully liked anyone, even though she has a complete family. From Mira's point of view, things are not that simple. There are parts of her parents and even her siblings that she struggles to accept. She feels sorry for her father, who never seems truly happy, and for her mother, who carries her own quiet frustrations because of the family. Because of that, whenever something serious happens, they choose to hide it from their mother. Not long after, Hana steps off a bus and notices the two of them together, looking a bit confused before they all head home. That evening, Chang-hee goes to Mr. Gu's house to bring him a drink. When there is no response, he lets himself in, noticing that the door is unlocked. He leaves the drink in the fridge, but as he looks around, something catches his attention. A faint green light is coming from one of the rooms. When he steps inside, he is shocked to find the floor filled with empty bottles. Later that night, Mira visits Mr. Gu while he is drinking. As they spend time together, he suddenly remembers the ice cream he bought earlier and finally gives it to her. That small gesture seems to shift something inside Mira. She slowly begins to open up more and interact with her coworkers, feeling slightly better than before. Back at his place, Mr. Gu starts cleaning his house, clearing out the bottles. When he is done, he takes a photo and sends it to Mira. After work, Mira finds Mr. Gu waiting for her, and the two of them head out together. When they arrive, he shares that cleaning his house used to feel like a burden, especially getting rid of all those empty bottles. But after deciding to worship Mira, he feels motivated to change. The next day, Chang-hee, still curious about that incredible jump, tries to recreate it himself. Around this time, Mr. Gu's phone keeps vibrating with incoming messages. They are all asking about his whereabouts. Through this, it becomes clear that his real name is Gu Ja-gyong. Back in the fields, everyone is busy working. Ja-gyong and Mira are clearing weeds together while Hana hangs laundry nearby. She notices Ja-gyong giving Mira a drink, and after finishing her chores, she casually relaxes, only to be scolded by their mother. Frustrated, Hana remarks that Mira and Ja-gyong are not working at all but are actually acting like a couple. Not long after, Mira sends Ja-gyong a message, letting him know that she will be home late because of a club gathering. She also explains that the club only has 3 members, all of whom share the same goal, to finally experience what it feels like to be free. When the gathering begins, Sang-min is the first to open up, reading from his notebook and sharing what he has been holding inside. Around the same time, Mira gets a call from Hana, who is already waiting outside the cafe. Hana needs help carrying things from her office back home, and she keeps complaining over the phone. While she is distracted, Tae-hun suddenly appears and startles her. He then invites her inside, since the meeting is about to end. As the session continues, Tae-hun begins to share his own story. The room grows quiet as everyone listens. He reflects on his childhood, losing his father first, then his mother a year later. After the funeral, he returned to school, but instead of comfort, he was pushed into conflicts with other students. At that time, he chose not to fight back. He felt weakened after losing his parents, and that feeling stayed with him. That is why, even after his divorce, he refuses to leave his child. He understands what it means to grow up without parents, and he is determined to be a better father. In his notebook, he writes that he wants to free himself from that sense of weakness. On the way home, Hana becomes curious about Tae-hun and asks Mira for his number. She plans to confront the people who hurt him in the past. After getting his contact, she immediately reaches out, only to find out that he has already made peace with those people. That realization leaves her surprised. Meanwhile, Mira continues trying to reach Chan Hyuk, demanding that he take responsibility for the debt he left behind. When she finally gets through, he responds with anger, refusing to take responsibility and admitting that he cannot pay. All Mira can do is sit there and cry, overwhelmed by the situation. Back at home, Hana asks Mira about her relationship with Ja-gyung, wondering who made the first move. Mira explains that they are not actually dating. Instead, she had asked him to worship her. At the same time, Ja-gyung is on the phone with someone who sounds furious. It is the first time he is being confronted so directly for ignoring calls. The caller mentions that Sam Sik attended a funeral and met Chairman Shin, who has been asking about Ja-gyung's whereabouts. It also becomes clear that Chairman Shin is now at odds with Director Baek, and if they act quickly, Director Baek could be brought down. The next day, Mira makes a difficult decision. She pays off her friend's debt by canceling the deposit she had been saving for her future home. She does it quietly without telling her family, choosing to carry the burden alone. After leaving the bank, she runs into Ja-gyung, and the two of them walk off together. He asks if she has settled everything, and Mira confirms that she has. She explains that her friend will repay her eventually. That answer frustrates him. He wants to know who this person is and even asks for a name and contact. But Mira refuses. Her refusal leaves him thinking that she might still have feelings for that man. When they arrive, Ja-gyung tells her to wait while he prepares some noodles. While they sit together, Mira vents her frustration. She feels disappointed that he does not support her decision. From her point of view, he should simply continue worshiping her, giving her the strength to say what she truly wants to say to the person who hurt her. After serving the food, Ja-gyung opens up in his own way. He hints that Mira would be shocked if she knew who he really is. He admits that he has done things that make him a frightening person. He claims that he has never been afraid, even when facing people who wanted to kill him. But strangely, when it comes to Mira, he feels something different. Around her, he feels vulnerable, almost foolish, and he cannot stop himself from waiting for her. That evening, during dinner, Hana grows curious about their relationship and wonders if it is true that they are worshipping each other. Ja-gyung simply confirms it without hesitation. Chang-hee, noticing that Hana does not fully understand what that means, asks Ja-gyung to be patient with her. Meanwhile, at the office, Mira continues working on her report. She later heads to a cafe with her laptop, sitting quietly as she imagines someone being there beside her. Not long after, Ja-gyung actually appears and takes the seat next to her, turning her quiet imagination into reality. Elsewhere, while refueling his vehicle, Ja-gyung is spotted by a man named Sam Sik. Without wasting time, Sam Sik reports what he saw to his superior, even pointing out the truck Ja-gyung is driving. Still, his superior refuses to believe it, thinking it is impossible for someone like Ja-gyung to be living such a simple life. Back at the office, Mira submits her report to Jun-ho, but he barely acknowledges her, telling her to leave it on the desk. As she walks out, he makes a subtle remark about her sense of color, suggesting that it is something people are either born with or not. However, when the executives later review the designs, they end up choosing the color that Mira created. At the same time, Ja-gyung waits for Mira at the station. While waiting, he stops by a convenience store to buy snacks and drinks. When Mira arrives, she rushes toward the exit but does not see him at first. As she walks away, the two of them nearly bump into each other outside the store, and they end up leaving together. Later, while working, Ja-gyung checks a message from the same caller as before. He steps aside to return the call. The voice on the other end informs him that Sam-sik has already seen him and is now actively looking for him. There is also pressure building around director Baek, with warnings that if Ja-gyung does not act first, he could become the next target. Ja-gyung listens calmly, then makes it clear that he will return when the time is right. For now, he has other priorities. After ending the call, he simply goes back to work, as if nothing has changed. That night, Ye-gyung waits for Mira at the station. When she arrives, they leave together and walk side by side. As they go, Mira keeps talking non-stop. It is a noticeable change since she used to stay quiet unless someone spoke to her first. Now, she talks about everything, from the weather to small things she notices along the way, even the most random details. The next day, Mira begins to realize that something inside her has shifted. She shares this feeling with her supervisor, explaining how she can now express what is on her mind more freely. For the first time, she starts to believe that she deserves to be loved. Around the same time, an accident happens while her father is transporting goods. The rope securing the load suddenly snaps, causing everything to fall onto the road. Her father quickly asks Ja-gyung to stop so they can clean it up before it causes trouble for passing vehicles. While they are working, Mr. Beck happens to pass by and notices Ja-gyung. Along with Sam-sik, he approaches him and takes him away to talk. During that encounter, Mr. Beck accuses Ja-gyung of pretending to live a poor life. It is revealed that Ja-gyung once had a relationship with Mr. Beck's younger sister, who has since passed away. After the meeting, Ja-gyung returns home on foot. Mira's father, who has been quietly worried, keeps an eye on him from a distance, only feeling relieved once he sees Ja-gyung safely back. When Ja-gyung arrives, Mira prepares some snacks for him and tells him to rest, noticing how exhausted he looks. Later, when she returns home, her mother questions why she keeps visiting him after work. Without hesitation, Mira casually says that they are dating. The answer shocks her mother, and Hana is equally surprised. The following morning, Ja-gyung continues helping Mira's father with work, just as usual. Her father, assuming that Ja-gyung might have been chased by debt collectors, shares a story from his own past. He once made a mistake by acting as a guarantor for someone else's loan. Even so, he feels fortunate that he managed to pay it all off in the end. From his experience, he advises Ja-gyung to work hard and build a better life. Ja-gyung listens quietly, then asks for permission to buy a new rope. Meanwhile, at Ja-gyung's house, Mira notices something different. For once, he is not drinking. Before he can explain, his phone starts ringing. Mira suggests that he should answer it, but he ignores the call and instead brings up something else. He questions why she told her mother that they are dating. From his point of view, it was something that could have remained hidden, especially since he might leave without notice one day. But for Mira, relationships ending is a normal part of life, and there is no need to hide it. Before leaving, Mira asks him to say whatever is on his mind. This time, Ja-gyung opens up about his past. He recalls someone who once wanted to end their life. He had tried to guide that person toward getting help, but in the end, she chose to jump and died. It turns out that person was his girlfriend. He then tells Mira that she can ask him to stop worshipping her whenever she wants. But to Mira, that idea feels strange, because she cannot even remember when he truly began. The story briefly shifts into the past, revealing a moment that changes everything. Ja-gyung wakes up after hearing Mira's voice calling out. As he regains his senses, he realizes he is at Dongmi Station and quickly gets off the train. It turns out that Mira unknowingly saved his life. If he had continued following Sam-sik's instructions to go to Oido Station, he would have walked straight into an ambush set up by hired thugs. Not long after, Ja-gyung is seen using a public phone. On the other end, someone complains that Chairman Shin is waiting for them to take down Mr. Beck. Hearing this, Ja-gyung calmly admits that he is tired of everything. Without hesitation, he ends the call and walks away, as if choosing to step back from that world. The next day, while working at the warehouse, Ja-gyung notices Sam-sik watching him from a distance. The moment their eyes meet, Sam-sik quickly hides, realizing he has been spotted. Meanwhile, Mira is out eating with a friend, casually talking about Ja-gyung. From her perspective, he is someone who never makes excuses and always shows his true self. After finishing her meal, she heads to Chang-hee's workplace. He asks her to deliver a new type of alcohol to Ja-gyung. When she arrives, she hands it over and Ja-gyung pours himself a drink without saying much. Mira cannot help but feel frustrated by his silence. She wonders why he never says what she wants to hear. But instead of reacting seriously, Ja-gyung simply smiles, finding her words oddly refreshing. That only makes Mira more annoyed. She feels like he constantly underestimates her, especially when it comes to her struggle to recover the money she lost. In the end, she leaves while Ja-kyung just watches her go with a quiet laugh. The next morning, Ja-kyung drives up to a club and walks inside. The atmosphere immediately shifts as everyone there bows in respect when they see him. It becomes clear that this is his world, one that is completely different from the life he has been living in Sanpo. He heads straight to meet Mr. Baek. During their conversation, Ja-kyung makes it clear why he came. Lately, he has been unable to sleep, bothered by the way Mr. Baek misjudged him. Mr. Baek assumed that Ja-kyung was pretending to live as a poor man, when in reality he had simply stepped away from everything to rest. There is also a deeper frustration. Ja-kyung feels betrayed in their business dealings. Because of that, he gives a warning. Soon he will return, and when that happens, there will only be two choices left. Either walk away from the business and live a simple life, or continue chasing power and face the consequences. He makes it clear that he does not want to be disturbed until he decides to come back on his own terms. As Ja-kyung walks out, he calls out to Sam-sik and tells him to prepare an order for wastapel sampo. Sam-sik, clearly nervous, quickly explains himself. He insists that he was not the one who told Ja-kyung to go to Oido Station. At that time, his phone had been taken by Mr. Baek. But Ja-kyung already knows the truth since Hyun had informed him earlier. Later that day, after work, Mira gets a message from Ja-kyung saying that he is waiting for her. She goes to meet him, and they leave together in his car. Chang-hee notices them and rushes over, holding a car key he picked up earlier. He excitedly asks Ja-kyung to confirm that the car really belongs to him. Without hesitation, Ja-kyung takes him to an apartment basement where the car is parked. Seeing it up close leaves Chang-hee completely amazed. He cannot stop praising Ja-kyung, and soon after, he eagerly takes the wheel himself. As they drive around, Mira rides along while Chang-hee enjoys the attention that comes with driving such a luxury car. Even when they stop, people start to treat him differently. When they arrive home, their mother asks whose car is parked outside. Do-hwan quickly answers that it belongs to a friend who left it behind while traveling abroad. When Young-hoon sees the car, he is instantly impressed, and it makes him curious about what Ja-kyung really does for a living. The next day at the office, Mira delivers her report, only to be criticized by Jun-ho. He makes a comment about her outfit, clearly trying to embarrass her in front of others. Mira says nothing and simply endures it. Later, inside the elevator, Jun-ho casually asks about the Liberation Club she created. Mira responds honestly, saying that she wants to free herself from people who make her uncomfortable. That answer leaves him silent. That night, while drinking with Ja-kyung, Mira finally lets out everything she has been holding in. She talks about Jun-ho, describing him as someone who holds power at work but has no real presence outside of it. She recalls how the company once offered employees the chance to leave during a downsizing. Ironically, the talented ones left because they had better opportunities, while those who were expected to leave stayed behind because no one else wanted them. That, in her eyes, is why Jun-ho is still there. Ja-kyung listens and then shares his own perspective. To him, weak people can be the cruelest and at the same time the most pitiful. He even suggests that Mira invite Jun-ho to the house one day, so he can be taught a lesson out in the fields. After that, they sit down and eat noodles together. Ja-kyung opens the window, taking in the night air, quietly appreciating the simple changes around him. He mentions how this is the first time he has lived in a place where the wind shifts at night, and the moon feels so close. Later, they step outside together. In a sudden moment, Ja-kyung throws a stone toward a nearby light, causing it to go out. As they stand there, taking in the view, he notices that Mira is cold. Without saying anything, he pulls her closer, gently holding her and warming her. In that quiet moment, the distance between them disappears and they share their first kiss. That night, Ja-kyung suddenly wakes up after hearing a noise outside. When he looks out, he notices two suspicious men checking Mira's father's pickup truck. They quietly attach something underneath the vehicle before leaving. The next morning, Ja-kyung inspects the truck and discovers a tracking device hidden beneath it. Wanting to confirm his suspicion, he drives around to test it. After moving through several locations, he notices a car following him. He quickly hides and waits. When the car finally arrives, he steps in without hesitation, smashes the window, and grabs the man inside. He forces him to make a call to Mr. Baek. It turns out the men are not working for Mr. Baek, but for Chairman Shin. Soon after, Ja-kyung is brought in to meet him. Chairman Shin admits that he had assumed Ja-kyung was already dead, possibly taken out by Mr. Baek. Seeing him alive brings a sense of relief. He then urges Ja-kyung to return once his break is over. From his perspective, he needs someone strong in a high position to maintain his authority. If Mr. Beck takes that role, it could weaken his influence in the eyes of others. Even so, Ja-gyung is not ready to return yet. For now, he chooses to stay in Sampo. Later, Mira and Ja-gyung sit quietly by the riverside. In that calm moment, Ja-gyung decides that he will continue worshipping her. The two of them share a quiet smile, as if understanding each other without needing words. Not long after, Hayeon, one of Ja-gyung's associates, shows up at Mira's family store. He looks around cautiously until Mira's mother notices him and asks what he is looking for. He explains that he is searching for Ja-gyung, calling him a friend. She invites him inside and he sits down, observing the family photos while enjoying the drink she offers. Soon, Ja-gyung and Mira's father return. They greet each other and sit down to eat together. During the meal, Hyun mentions that Ja-gyung is an extraordinary person. Mira's father listens quietly, not reacting much. Before leaving, Hyun urges Ja-gyung to come back, explaining that many people are struggling without him. When the topic shifts to Mira, Ja-gyung does not respond and simply looks away. At work, Ji-hoy tells Mira that someone new has joined the Liberation Club. It turns out to be Hyung-gi, who admits that she became interested after seeing what they were doing before, but only now found the courage to join. Around the same time, Junho announces a design contest at the office. He encourages Ji-hoy and Soo-jin to give it their best effort, while barely acknowledging Mira. Bo-ram notices this and pushes Mira to prove herself by aiming for first place, hoping she will finally stop being underestimated. While Mira's father is out buying tools, her father notices Chung-hee driving a car. When Chung-hee gets home, his father immediately asks whose car it is. At first, Chung-hee brushes it off, saying it belongs to a friend. But his father keeps pressing him until he finally admits that the car belongs to Ja-gyung. That answer leaves his father silent for a moment. Chung-hee goes on to explain that Ja-gyung is actually very wealthy, and that he was the one who allowed him to use the car. Instead of being impressed, his father becomes upset and firmly tells him not to use something that does not belong to him. Chung-hee reacts with frustration, arguing back, but his father slams the table and reminds him just how expensive that car is. Not long after, Ja-gyung arrives, only to find the atmosphere tense and awkward. The next day, Chung-hee grows anxious about the damage he caused to the car. Do-hwan advises him to just be honest, believing that Ja-gyung likely has insurance anyway. After some hesitation, Chang-hee finally gathers the courage to tell the truth. But when Ja-gyung shows up to check the car, Chang-hee panics and runs away before anything can happen. He keeps running until he reaches Dongmi Station, then quickly boards a train. Unexpectedly, Ja-gyung boards the same train. Even so, he has no intention of chasing Chang-hee. His destination is Seoul, where he plans to meet Hyun. Once there, Ja-gyung talks about someone who has been constantly lying to him, someone who continues to irritate him. He believed he had stepped away from that world, but it turns out the business never really stopped. The operation is still running, selling drugs through club visitors. The person behind it is Mr. Beck. After hearing this, Hyun immediately contacts Chairman Shin and informs him that Ja-gyung is finally returning. The following day, the police raid the club to arrest Mr. Beck. However, he manages to escape. Realizing that Ja-gyung is behind it, Mr. Beck contacts him and tells him to wait. Later, while walking with Mira, Ja-gyung mentions that he will be going to Seoul. When Mira asks why, he avoids giving a clear answer. That night, Mira sits alone in her room, overwhelmed with emotion. Eventually, she decides to go to Ja-gyung's house. When she arrives, she finds him packing up his bottles. She tries to hold on to what they have, suggesting that she could call him sometimes and see him once or twice a month. But Ja-gyung sees things differently. He tells her that she should move to Seoul and live a normal life among other people. To him, living normally means wanting the same things as everyone else. He believes she deserves a life filled with happiness, just like any other woman. Mira listens, but her answer is clear in her own way. She chooses to stay as she is, holding on to the life she has built, even if it does not fit anyone else's idea of normal. The next day, Mira's father learns that Ja-gyung is planning to leave. Before he goes, he tells him that he is always welcome to come back if he ever changes his mind and wants to work again. Elsewhere, Mr. Bike is on the run, chased by the police. With nowhere left to go, he tries to escape by jumping over a barrier, but it ends in tragedy. He falls onto exposed construction steel, leaving him fatally wounded. The chase comes to an abrupt end as his life slips away. Meanwhile, Mira struggles with her emotions and tries to reach Ja-gyung, but his number is no longer active. At the funeral, Ja-gyung appears almost detached. There is a strange sense of relief in him, as if he cannot fully believe that everything has ended so suddenly. Time passes and a year goes by. Life moves on for everyone, yet the memories remain. Eventually, Ja Gyung decides to return and see Mira again. He stands in front of her house, but when the door opens, he is met by a woman he does not recognize. It turns out she is Mira's father's new wife. The truth slowly unfolds. Mira's mother passed away quietly while resting in her room. On that day, she had been preparing rice. When Chung-hee noticed it burning, he went to wake her, only to discover that she had already passed. Panicked, he ran outside, even leaving one of his sandals behind, desperate to tell their father. After that loss, the siblings found it too painful to stay, so they eventually moved to Seoul. Now their father continues his life with his new wife, supported by his children from afar. Before Ja Gyung leaves, Mira's father gives him her new phone number. Not long after, Ja Gyung reaches out and asks to meet. When they finally see each other again, there is a brief moment of awkwardness, shaped by time and distance. As they walk together, Mira notices how much he has changed, even something as simple as his longer hair. The conversation slowly begins to flow again. For the first time, she asks about his real identity, and he finally tells her his name, Gu Ja Gyung. She also wonders how he managed to find her new number. He explains that he recently visited her old home, which is how he learned everything that had happened, including her mother's passing and her father's remarriage. Realizing that he already knows the truth, Mira says nothing more about it. Instead, the two of them continue walking side by side, eventually heading to the market, quietly making up for the time they lost. While they are enjoying their meal, Ja Gyung suddenly gets a call from Sam Sik. He asks Mira to wait for him and steps away to handle something quickly. When he arrives, he heads straight inside and checks the financial records. Not long after, Ja Gyung and Sam Sik go to a club. As soon as they arrive, Ja Gyung sees a chaotic scene. A woman is attacking a broker with a bottle, leaving him bleeding. She is furious after losing her job, especially after being pressured to repay her debt. Seeing this, Ja Gyung's expression changes instantly. He corners her and makes it clear that he does not tolerate people who avoid responsibility. He then moves into another room, searching through the place. After tossing things aside, he finds hidden cash beneath a chair. With that done, he leaves and returns to Mira, meeting her again at the restaurant as if nothing happened. Mira immediately notices the mark on his face and realizes how much he has changed in such a short time. As they walk, she opens up about Chan Hyuk, who still has not repaid his debt. Instead, he is busy celebrating his wedding in a lavish way. When she confronted him, he only responded with anger, pushing her to the point where she could not control her frustration. That night, Mira and Ja Gyung spend time together at the apartment, quietly sharing each other's presence. The next day, Chung-hee calls his father and tells him that he plans to visit the following week. At the same time, Hana, who feels uncertain about her own relationship, decides to cut her hair, as if trying to reset something in her life. After work, Mira unexpectedly runs into Chan Hyuk again. Later, as she heads home, she is surprised when Ja Gyung suddenly appears and pulls her close. Once they are inside, Ja Gyung offers to help her collect the debt, but Mira refuses. She wants to prove to herself that Chan Hyuk is nothing more than a coward who ran away with her money. At the same time, she admits that she sees Ja Gyung as a place of comfort, someone she does not want to burden with her anger. Hearing that brings him a quiet sense of happiness. A few days later, Mira, Hana, and Chung-hee return to Sanpo. Duhwan welcomes them warmly, since it is their father's birthday. They bring gifts and spend time together as a family. While looking around, Mira finds an old notebook from her childhood and smiles, lost in her memories. During the meal, their father tells them that if life in Seoul becomes too difficult, they can always choose to live on their own terms, even if that means staying separately. Not long after, Mira meets Chan Hyuk again. This time, he finally gathers the courage to face her properly and promises that he will start repaying his debt next month. For Mira, that moment feels like a small victory, proof that she has managed to stand her ground. Back at home, Hana receives a simple gift from Tai-hun, a single rose that has been cut from its stem. Meanwhile, Chang-hee signs up for a class about the history of Seoul, but accidentally walks into a lecture about death and funerals instead. At first, he plans to leave, but something about the topic makes him stay and listen. In the end, the story circles back to Mira and Ja Gyung. Both of them realize that their lives have quietly changed. Through everything they have been through, they have become better versions of themselves. And now, their hearts feel full, held together by the presence of someone they truly care about. So the moral of the story is, if life gets messy, maybe do not co-sign debt, insult a single dad in front of him, or accidentally fall in love through a weird mutual worship program.